the skeptics out there, and I used to be one of them, will listen to that story and be like, yeah, but she kind of worked in fashion, and she probably had a network, so that career change was really easy for her. And I'll say, don't project ease onto others and assume hardship and challenge onto you. Hi, my name is Dina. I'm your straight-talking life and career coach specializing in career change and career development. And in today's episode, I want to focus in on late bloomers. Women in particular, women who change careers later on in life. As a life and career coach who specializes in career change, I meet a lot of people who are thinking about wanting to change careers. And I meet their fears, their doubts, the worst case scenarios, a lot of them. And one of them is it's too late. It's too late for them to change careers. So if this is you, then this episode's for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to focus in on 3 women who change careers later on in life. And I'm going to lend my coaching perspective onto what they did and why. And then at the end, I'm going to tell you how you can change careers at any age, but also more importantly, how you can start believing that is possible for you. Let's dig in. If you look up women who change careers later on in life, the number one that will come up is for sure Vera Wang. So she's the most famous one. She became a designer at age 41. She actually had 2 careers before that. So her first career was as a figure skater. But as with most sports careers, they end quite early. And then her second career began, and it was within fashion, but it was journalism. So she was a fashion editor at Vogue for 15 years. She had one job for 15 years. I have met a lot of career changers who are in a job for 10 years, 15 and 20, and they're like, who will have me? Because they've been in the same place for a very long time, they don't feel like they've grown as much, or they felt like they've stagnated. And therefore, because they don't feel that growth, they feel like, am I still relevant? Where do I even go from, being in a job for 10, 15 years? But look, it happened to Vera and it's happened to a lot of my clients. It is possible. But it all comes down to the story you tell yourself. So stop telling yourself that story. So how did Vera change careers? Actually, completely by accident. She was preparing for her own wedding and she just wasn't finding the dresses that she wanted. So she sketched one out and had it made and then discovered a talent for it. And the rest is history. Now, the skeptics out there, and I used to be one of them, will listen to that story and be like, yeah, but she kind of worked in fashion, and she probably had a network, so that career change was really easy for her. And I'll say, don't project ease onto others and assume hardship and challenge onto you, because that's what I see you guys do. It was easy for them because of A, B, and C, and it will be hard for me because of X, Y, and Z. That jump isn't just hard because we think we'll have to, have to start from the bottom and we won't make a lot of money. The other part that holds my clients back is the imposter kind of feelings around, oh, but I have to go to art school. I have to be fully trained. I don't think Vera was, and there's so many artists out there, creatives out there who haven't been formally trained and are doing very well. But a lot of creatives I do meet, I meet people who are working in fashion and have had a whole fashion business, a brand business or something like that. They've never been formally trained and they keep saying, but I haven't been formally trained. And I keep telling them, you've got a business. People are buying your stuff. People are loving what you're doing. That's all the kind of evidence that you need. Also, the other thing that I'm taking away from that is, yes, she does have a network. She had a network and contacts within fashion. So I'm sure it was easier for her because of that. But don't you forget that you have a network as well. As soon as you get clear on what it is you want and why you want it, and you have that fire lit inside you, like, whoa, I can do this and I really want to do this, then all that doubt melts away. You will tap into your network and you'll be surprised with how robust your network is, honestly. And you don't need a big, massive, huge network. Just need a couple of people who know someone. Keeping the streak of creatives and creativity, let me get on to Grandma Moses. Her and her husband worked on other people's farms from a very young age. She had painting classes in school when she went and she enjoyed them, but just didn't have time. She was a working woman. Farm life takes a lot of time. And if that wasn't enough, she then gave birth to 10 kids. 10. That's a decade of pregnancy. Only 5 survived, but she was very busy in those times, raising her kids, raising her family, and working the farm. So it was only when she retired that she began her painting career. And she didn't even start painting. That's the crazy thing. She got famous for painting, but it was embroidery. She started with something that she actually really enjoyed doing, which was embroidery. And then she had arthritis, so it hurt her. And her sister recommended that she paints. And Grandma Moses was quite a practical lady. And she thought, yeah, actually, embroidery stuff, moths might eat the wool, but painting lasts longer. So yeah, I'll do it. And she just started painting rural life, just what she saw, what she grew up around. And she started aged 76. Now, if you think that is old, she then went on to live until 101. So she had more than 2 decades of life as an artist, and a successful one. Her first painting sold about $3 to $5, and one of her paintings was hanging in her local town in the pharmacy or somewhere, and someone saw it and bought it and liked it and wanted more, came back, wanted more, and then it just slowly built from that. And then she exhibited in New York, in her 70s, in her late 70s, 80s, and then her painting sold for $8,000, $10,000. Again, I really want to address your belief that if you went and pursued your creativity, that you would be a struggling broke artist. It isn't necessarily true. It doesn't mean that you're going to be like Grandma Moses, but I'm just saying, if the thing that is preventing you from pursuing your dreams is the assumption that you won't make money of it, I will challenge it. And I would, if I were you, actively look for people who are creative, doing what you want to be doing and making money. Last one, Kathryn Joosten. If you don't know the name, you mostly will, if you watch Desperate Housewives or The West Wing. And Kathryn also had 2 careers, or 2 lives rather. Her first life and career was working as a psychiatric nurse, married to a psychiatrist, and raising 2 kids. So married life, working, 2 kids, standard. Age 41, she got a divorce. And that spurred her on to go after her dream career, which was acting. Again, another career that is unstable. But I can just imagine her. Like, I know a lot of women do get like a second lease of life after a divorce, and they think, do you know what? Screw doing what other people want me to do, or what life is expected to do, or, screw all of this and let me just try, which I love. It's like a rebirth. And so she took acting lessons, she got jobs, she got theatre jobs, she got TV jobs, and she supported herself doing bar work and also painting houses, right? She went on to win 2 Emmy Awards, right? Again, we have this assumption of struggling artists, but actually, why not just give it a go? Now, some of you might be listening to that and being like, yes, exactly, Dina, like this is what I fear. I fear that if I have to start again, then I will have to work for minimum wage in a bar, right? But fire lights inside you when you get clarity on what it is you want and why you want it. And when you have that burning passion and clarity of like, oh my God, yes, this, I really want this, you have a vision, then actually what you do on the side doesn't matter, because you then have this freedom to chase after what you feel is your true self or your best self. So don't let, the assumption that I won't be happy or I have to get a bar job or something else like that. Don't let that stop you. Trust me, that clarity, that passion, that vision will melt away any kind of thoughts about, oh, but I won't be able to afford those holidays, or what will they think? What will so-and-so think of me? Right, it will melt away. And look, I also know in real life as well, a woman who did practically what Kathryn Joosten did, except she didn't get divorced, wasn't happy in her career. I forget what her first career was, but then she had her kid and she went to a baby massage class and just fell in love with the concept and the idea, and then was like, oh my God, okay, this is what I want to do. And so she trained to be kind of a baby masseuse, and then started her company very, very slowly. And she said, she was like, I was working as a barista in a cafe, in my local cafe, and I was the oldest one working there by a mile, but I didn't care, because I was finally found something I was so incredibly passionate about. And also, actually, you know what, it gave me like a little bit of life and energy to be, in a cafe, meeting people, because, my old job was in an office and staring at a computer screen. And then it was such a massive change, and I really liked being on my feet and, and interacting with these, like, my young co-workers who would teach me about stuff. And I knew it was temporary, so it didn't matter. And oh my God, this lady is so successful. She now has a whole school and she gets contracts from around the world, and she is earning 6 figures at least. Moral of the story is, get clear on what it is that you want to do. Once you've got clarity, you will have that passion, and then all the other fears will disappear. I'm going to tell you how you can change careers. One of the most important things to know is about how your brain works. Your mind is a powerful search engine. It will go out and seek evidence for whatever you believe. And when I say believe, it's also for whatever you think or whatever you doubt. So if you think, oh, it's too late for me to change, your brain will hear that, and there's a very obedient search engine. It will go out into the world. It will just be looking for evidence to prove your doubt, your belief in your doubt. And so it'll come back with, costs are rising. Now's not a good time to change. So many people are out of a job. There's an economy crisis. And who will have you? What transferable skills have you got? All of these doubts, all the kind of the evidence that it is hard to change. And at this age, it will come back to you. And that is, my friends, I'll call it out, sloppy thinking, because it's not scientific. It's not fair. You are arguing just for one side, which is the worst case scenario side. What I invite you to do is practice a belief the other way. So instead of thinking, is now too late to change, think about, how is now the perfect time to change careers? Now in this year, now in this economy, but also now at my age, now with my experience, how am I in the most perfect place of my life to change careers? Practice that belief. When I say practice that belief, it's just like, ask yourself that question and then just wait. At first, your mind, because it just hasn't practiced that way of thinking, you just imagine like two paths. You always turn left. And so that negative side, the doubt, is just a well-trodden path that you've just practiced thinking these thoughts. And this, what I'm inviting you, the right-hand side, that path isn't trodden yet. It's still grass. It's still wild grass. And what I'm saying is you just have to practice walking down it. So thinking now is a good time. And what helps us with the thinking is seeing how other people did it, which is why I'm sharing these 3 women. Finding evidence for how it is possible and how actually you might earn way more than you're earning now. You might work less. It might be way faster, and I'm telling you, it will be. Actually, when you're older, you've got more transferable skills, more expertise, and a better network. So actually the change won't be as hard as you think it is. So that's me. That's Late Bloomers. And I hope you have been inspired in this episode, so you know what to do. Subscribe to my newsletter, share this post, subscribe to my podcast or my YouTube. Whatever you do, let's keep in contact and let's keep this conversation going. Have a great day. Hey, are you thinking about leaving your job or changing your career altogether? And maybe you've been thinking about it for a while, but you haven't got around to doing it. If so, I've got the antidote for you. I'm organizing a career change summit. It's happening from the 16th to the 18th of January. It's online and free. All you have to do is register your interest below. And in return, I'm going to give you 3 days packed full of really valuable information that will help you feel so crystal clear about what it is you want to do and make you feel very prepared to make sure that in 2024, you end up in your dream job. And if you're watching this after January, I'll have a link below to the recordings that you can watch.